potentially already start with that. Perfect. So post-carbon carbon credits, it's probably something that, yeah, both sides could have some inputs in. And of course, as a commoner, you can also, like, your narrative could be a critique of, you know, carbon credits as such, or you could potentially frame carbon credits within a broader framework of some kind of commons initiatives. So what version of carbon credits would be a commons like based thing, right?
Has anybody heard of South Pole in the news recently?
What was that? South Coal?
Yeah, South Pole is the biggest broker of carbon credits, and they just had a big controversy, like just in the last few weeks. It's
Hadn't heard of it.
so I don't know. It's not like, I mean, it's like yeah, it's like I didn't know about it until recently, but yeah, it's almost like an FTX moment, but not nearly as extreme. But like, yeah, like controversial in that sort of way, sort of. Different market, obviously, different dynamics, but yeah. So carbon credits is a good one, I think. Lots of reasons for critique on that at the moment.
Credits. Yeah, there's like related buzzwords like, yeah, eco-social transformation, even ecosystem services, or indeed one of these like renewable energy, just quite a broad framing. Then you can take it in many different kinds of directions. But indeed, as a capitalist, you could, argue we have all the capital investment needed to, rehaul the whole energy infrastructure. Or, as a commoner, you could, well, yeah, power uses, this and this many resources. Let's make it all people-powered economies. We'll all like ride stationary bikes to create our power and then allocate that power according. It's, I don't know, have different kinds of fun with that. And I'll just put it in, and if someone thinks of something better, can always change it.
Sure.
So last one, cooperative. Can think of, yeah, platform co-ops. That's, I think, yeah, pretty present in the space we're in terms of regional alliances and the kinds of models. But we could also, yeah, think about capitalist co-optation of the platform cooperative narrative. It's maybe a bit more tricky for capitalists, but at the same time, maybe carbon credits is something that already leans towards them. It's also nice that the choices we make are kind of, some are easier for one team to work with, some are easier for the other team to work with.
Yeah, I think platform's a good choice.
Platform co-op. It could even be like a concrete platform co-op, guerrilla media or something else if people are familiar. But in general, I think it's easier if we have this more broader framing, and then if you like, in your story, you could focus on a specific one that you know of and create a story around it.
A co-op making platform shoes.
Yeah. Open source shoes. Yeah. Okay, well, this is good. We've got our board essentially now done. So now we have to choose who plays on which side. Maybe we'll give a moment for any one of the players to maybe voice a preference that they have, and I'll put their name here instead of player 1 and player 2.
I'll just point out that I got a red shirt. I don't know if for what that's worth.
Mhm. Ba, ba, ba. So that was you, Sune, Gray, or like
Oh, is
maybe
that what my
you.
name says? I tried to change it, but it didn't. I guess it
Uh-huh.
didn't work.
Yeah, maybe you can just tell me your name and I'll put you on the red team.
Yeah, Gray Al, Graial. That's what it
Mhm.
should be. I don't know why it didn't change. The it's Sunny is the name of the. That's my
Mhm.
professional name, I guess. Real world, my IRL name.
Mhm. Is this okay? Or
So it's, SUN capital E, so lowercase.
okay.
E like elephant.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. Okay, well you can already kind of pick, like above here you see a bunch of cards, and these are just placeholders for now, just to show you how the game's gonna look like once we assemble it.
Okay.
But you can pick from
So
here
what's this
three.
thing about intervention versus challenge?
Mm. So you pick from interventions. As a commoner, you will be using intervention prompts to
Does that
create
correspond to
scenarios.
the team colors? The
Yeah,
intervention versus
mm.
challenge, or
Yeah, yeah. It's all color coded, and you've got a red shirt. You're on team red, so you pick, yeah, the red cards, three of them, three that you like, and you can put them here in this placeholder here. Okay, do we have anyone else with a strong preference for either team? Otherwise, we can get some randomization going. No? Okay, then I'll put Jeff as a commoner. Jeff Carr. Okay. And you, Jeff, can, yeah, already look at the challenge cards and pick three that you like and put them in your placeholder here. So we have two more. Ines, do you have any preference?
I'm debating.
Mhm.
um, mm, I'll go the blue side.
Okay, capitalism. Playing devil's advocate. Okay, just and yeah, again, you can look at the cards that Jeff's also looking at, the blue cards up above, and put them in your own placeholder over here. And last but not least, is it Max?
Yeah, obviously Team Red.
Mm. Okay, and you also, yeah, can look at the red cards and pick three that you like. And also, mind you, like your choice can also be a little bit dependent on the topics we chose to put in the board, right? Because essentially you'll be using those cards to create short storylines that kind of connect. Yeah, let's say if you're trying as a capitalist to co-opt the eco-village, you kind of look at the cards you have in your hand and apply the one that you think you can create a story of how, yeah, either the other side, can't do anything meaningful in the space, you hold all the power, or you could try, greenwashing, a kind of greenwashing narrative, or try to like kind of capture some, actual like real world actors, like, business people, right-wing politicians, or what have you, like what would be their takes on this, and you can kind of getting into the role and kind of simulating, maybe even using some choice of words that kind of trigger something in the audience's mind, like, hey, this is really something, a narrative that I hear all the time that might give you bonus points, and they will vote favorably for you. In some sense, yeah, given the audience today, or in general when playing this game, of course, it kind of favors the commoner side. But at the same time, if you're a commoner and playing this game, of course, the audience expects you to be, like what you say, you should represent their interests in a strong way, right? If you tell a weak story with the card, even though you have the audience favor in principle, like they might still not vote favorably for you. And yeah, maybe kind of the opposite goes for capitalists. Maybe people are not in your favor in kind of principle, but it's more like if you, say something that, tickles people's funny bone, and, or other ways that you might think of yourselves, different narrative strategies to get the audience on your side. It's sometimes actually easier to play the capitalist because essentially you just reference the reality we live in these days, and conditions of capitalist hegemony. And you can always just say, realistically, the other side, you have no power here. Maybe with that, you convince the audience, hey, yeah, that's, a really strong case for the capitalists. Okay, so we have a few cards in the placeholders. This is nice. And so while the players decide, yeah, Jeff has already made the selection. Nice. I can maybe start explaining a little bit of, the intricacies of the rules, but as said a few minutes before, like we'll also kind of more or less just jump into the game. This is all framed as a sort of experiment or demo. So you see kind of how the game works, but indeed we have actual player, indeed we have players, we have indeed actual audience, which will actively participate. Yeah, more on that in just a second. So again, for people joining us just now, we have two teams, the Team Capitalism and Team Communism, and they will be using the prompt cards in their hands to weave stories that will try to convince you to vote favorably for them. And in using these prompts and creating these narratives, they will be trying to win over these new economy buzzwords onto their side. And essentially, while there is a winning state, let's say, who essentially manages, which side manages to capture more at the end, essentially wins. It's more about the process of the gameplay itself. And yeah, hopefully through this game, you can become better at crafting your own narratives, or perhaps getting into the head of the opposition and perhaps using that even in the real world as something you can lean on when, yeah, either reaching various publics with your neo-economy project, or dealing with various actors and trying to realize it in the real world. And so each of the players will have, in this configuration, 3 cards in their hands. Actually, there exist like numerous other configurations of this game, depending on how many players we have and how much time we want to spend on the game. So for example, yeah, this column is different numbers of players, and these rows are like, yeah, different number of playing tiles, and like just the game objects themselves kind of lend themselves to creating these different kinds of configurations. So we're playing right now with this one with 2 players on each team and 6 active playing fields in total, playing with 3 buzzwords in total, which should take about an hour to get through. But we also have, yeah, 8 playing fields, 12 playing fields, or even like a very sprint, kind of even more demo variant of just 4 playing fields. And again, variations depending on how many players we have. But the main dynamic that will unfold is, well, team capitalism in principle always starts the game, because that's just the world we sort of live in these days, and kind of post-political climate, if you will. And yeah, they do, in a sense, hold a lot of the power. Also, when it concerns the directions of these things, right? If we read European EU policy papers or this or that, it's mostly like, yeah, they do operate with these buzzwords, but it's still very much aligned with, yeah, the status quo and the interest that why they're in. So team capitalism will, yeah, start the game by essentially choosing any one of these playing fields, that being donut economics, eco-village, co-ownership, platform cooperatives, carbon credits, or renewable energy. And yeah, depending on their choice of the card, they will have to essentially connect the prompt that's written on the card with that to form a narrative. So the players, and this is important, will have each round 1 minute to decide which card they will use. And also the team, like the 2 persons on the team can collaborate together in creating a story. But indeed, there is a player 1 and a player 2 on each team. So in the case of capitalism in Jeff, where we will start, like both of you, so Yanesi and Jeff, will look at Jeff's cards and kind of collectively choose which card to apply to which fields. Like right now, we're starting off with, yeah, all the options in the world, right? You have all the cards in your hand, you have all the playing fields up for grabs. But the more we progress in the game, the more cards you use, and the more playing fields have already been captured by one team or another, you'll have kind of less and less maneuverability, right, in terms of those things. So, like once, yeah, Yanesi and Jeff pick one of Jeff's cards and apply it, they will have 2 minutes to tell a compelling story or narrative or a set of arguments, even. It kind of tries to win you, the audience, onto their side. And you, as an audience, or what I like to frame as peer participants, right? So you're not passive peer participants, but you're peer participants in the sense that you kind of have the option to craft this game and influence it in meaningful ways as we go. One of those ways will be each time the players create a story, you will vote on that story from a 1 to a 6, and there will be a prompt on the Zoom to input your score. How much would you give them for their story? And we will take the average, what seems to be the average score, like everyone in the audience. I mean, if you don't feel like you understood or just want to abstain from voting, you can always do that. But those who will vote, we will see what's the average of that, and we'll map it onto a dice roll. So if, say, Team Capitalism for their narrative gets a 4 out of 6 for their story, so pretty convincing, but not like amazing or something, like chances are pretty high. So we will roll a dice, and if they get 1, 2, 3, or 4, their strategy actually succeeded. But if they get a 5 or a 6, they failed. I'll give another example. If they told a really shit story and got maybe just a 1, or let's say a 2, then when I roll the dice, you can only get a 1 or a 2 to succeed, and every other value will mean that you failed. And so if Team Capitalism succeeds in planting their challenge, then it will be on Team Communism to respond. So much like Team Capitalism, you will be looking at player 1's, so Sunny's cards, and Max and Sunny can together select one of Sunny's cards, but you'll be forced to apply them wherever the capitalists have, planted their kind of foot, so to say. And you will have the added. Yep, go ahead. You have a question?
Sorry, Rock. Yes, I have a question. So right now, is this Jeff and I turn to place cards in the blue
Yeah, right now
board,
I'm
right?
just explaining the general rules.
And then communism
and
is going to place.
And then, if you're successful, so if the audience gives you a high score and also like the dice roll, if you succeed, then it will be up to Team Communism to respond with an intervention. I'm just
Okay.
right now dragging it here so to make this point, and then essentially you will have the added challenge of applying your intervention not only to the eco-village context, but also to the context that the capitalists have set. You'll essentially have to respond to either their set of arguments or the story that they told. But if, say, Team Capitalism wasn't successful, then, well, that card that they use will go into a discard pile. But then you, as Team Communism, will have the chance to apply your intervention anywhere on the board that's still free. So if capitalists don't do a good job, then you will have more freedom in applying your card in, essentially any area that's still available. And don't worry, I'll explain these rules also as we go, and also, tell again whose turn it is, what to do. Until you kind of can internalize this. But I think mid-game, I think everything will be quite clear. And like maybe just as a final thing before we start actual play, is that once both Team Capitalism and Team Communism have had a chance to go, then before the next round starts, we roll a dice. Which is one normal 1 to 6 die. And depending on which value we get, one of these 6 things will happen. But for now, I think I'll explain it once we actually roll the die and land somewhere, and I will explain what that thing does. So maybe make 1 or 2 final things. So I will be choosing one random card from the pile here, from the cards that you haven't chosen, and that will essentially function as your extra active card. So no matter whose turn it is, so player 1 or player 2, you can regard this as an extra card at any time in your hand that you can, just like the others that you chose, apply here. And one other thing is, while capitalism starts the game, actually, if Team Communism manages to get a lead by 2 points, which means that they have essentially won onto their side 2 more playing fields than Team Capitalism, then this order will be reversed until this, for as long as Team Communism is effectively in the lead by 2. So if that happens, then Team Communism will get to, essentially apply their intervention in a context, and it will be Team Capitalism who will be forced, if communism is successful, to respond to their intervention with a challenge. So while at the beginning of the game we're kind of reflecting in the real world kind of situation, like if commoners, play well, they can essentially, at least within the game, reverse that situation and create a, let's say, political proper situation where capitalism and its alternatives are on essentially equal grounds, or maybe even more, like the commoners have even an advantage in a certain sense. So with that, I will just do some final technical things. These were all kind of placeholders for now, which I will delete. Also these. And I will pick at random, like I will do this for you. I will pick at random 2 cards that are currently your active cards, which you can use. And you can regard, like, when you will use one card, then you will get this other card. But for now, these you can't use. Just make these. Okay, so these are your active cards, plus each team gets 1 extra card that either player can use at any point. So I'm just picking them essentially at random and placing them here. So it's the extra card you can use as capitalists, and this will be the extra intervention that you guys can use. Okay, so I think with that, very, very, very last thing. So you can see up here, each team has 2 cards, which say recruit a participant. And what this means is when you, as let's say a capitalist, start telling your story, if you're having trouble or if you just want to solicit help from an audience member, you can activate one of these cards. And if someone from the audience does volunteer to help you out, your timer for telling your story will reset. And together with that audience member, for this round only, you all 3 together can craft the narrative. That's another layer of participation. And the same goes for Team Communism. So you can play this card either directly at the start, because you know perhaps an audience member and you know that they know a lot of things, say, about platform cooperatives. Then you can kind of activate this. But also, it may be useful to use it in this way, like you can already start telling your story, but if for whatever reason you're having trouble creating it, you can activate this card at any point before your 2 minutes runs out, and solicit an audience member's help, and your timer will have reset to 2 minutes again. So in principle, these allow you to have extra time, whether or not an audience member volunteers to help you out. If they don't, you still get that 2 minutes extra to tell your story. But indeed, there's only 2 such cards, so think wisely when you use them. I think with that, we've covered pretty much everything of how the game works, except for, these fields and exactly what they do. But as said, we'll figure that out as we play the game. So without further ado, I would ask Jeff and Inesi to look at Jeff's cards. So people too focused on local resilience or bullshit jobs, or indeed this one. And together you have 1 minute, and we can start the timer in just a few seconds for that. You have to decide which card to use and which ideological battleground you will try to claim first. I think
Great.
we can
So,
start the
Yini,
timer.
I was thinking we should capture the eco village. And I'm thinking this card. So we've got people too focused on local resilience rather than systemic drivers of global change. So I think that'll be a good challenge for eco village. What do you think? Any other ideas on that? I'm happy to give the first argument run through, just because I've played the game before. But and then if you want to add on anything to the challenge, maybe I can leave the last few seconds, or we can call on someone from the audience if we need it. What do you say?
I think that's a great option. Totally fits,
Cool.
and it is good. You already know how to play it. Also, so yeah, I agree.
Totally. Cool.
Okay,
Should we get right into it, Rock? Or do you have a
you're
timer?
ready, yeah, when you start, we'll reset the timer and give you 2 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, great. Ready to go. Okay, so this whole regenerative movement, it's really inspiring. Actually, I think as team capitalism, we really need to encourage people to go back to the land, to move to a remote eco village, and to harvest broccoli there all year. Because if we get them all focused on, growing broccoli off in the land, away from the cities, away from the technology, then they won't be able to oppose our capitalist agenda. They'll be so busy growing broccoli. They'll be so busy working on their small little plot of land that we can take over the rest of the world with our control of platforms, with our control of technology, with our control of the financial system, and eventually, we'll just be so powerful. We'll control everything else. They'll have their little plot of land. But they'll be out of our way and allow us to carry out our grand plans of taking over the global system in every other way. Anything to add to that, Yunizi?
Yeah, as you said, keeping them busy, planting broccoli will be the best strategy to just keep providing more resources to the system, and of course obligating them to just focus on that instead of all the aside problems that may be in the society.
Right, perfect. You're within time. We can also call it here. And now I would invite the audience to vote on the just pitched storyline. Maybe
and I can add that to vote, you just type in the chat the letter representing the number that you think they deserve.
And the players are not allowed to vote, obviously.
Yes. So this is your chance, audience. Type the letters in the chat.
I consider myself an audience member, so I'll also pitch in.
What is low and high? Sorry, I'm a little slow.
So low is 1 and high is 6, kind of the most, let's say, sensible. Yeah.
So 6 is like the best argument possible.
Essentially, yeah. And also for this, I think we can activate a timer of, say, 30 seconds, maybe for the next round, not this one. We're just sort of learning how to do it. But for the next round, yeah, maybe 30 or 40 seconds would be a good time to give everyone. And also, like, while voting is one way to participate, and you can do it from the comfort of your sofa chair wherever you are, and you don't have to say anything. But if you do have something to say, perhaps towards why you voted the way you did, or just have some feedback to the Just Pitch storyline, you can raise your hand, and we'll give you a moment to say what's on your mind. And that might also help the teams craft better stories, both in the game and maybe even in real life. So it seems we have, a few 4s, a few 5s, and 3. I think the 4 and 5 is quite equal. So, but with that other 3, then I think 4 becomes the average here in this situation. So that's a pretty decent score. And so I will go ahead and roll a die. And as said, if you capitalists get 1, 2, 3, or 4, you succeed given the score. But if you get a 5 or a 6, you will have failed. It's a 2. So you have succeeded. Congratulations. And now, given that Team Capitalism has succeeded, I will give the other card to Jeff. Now it's on Team Communism to respond with one of their interventions. So it's Suni's turn, but indeed, together with Max, you can decide which card to use. One of these 2, or perhaps the one extra that is kind of randomly given. And you have, 1 minute from now to do so. And while you decide, I may just slide over to another part of the board to show, perhaps the other cards that are potentially in play.
So does our intervention doesn't need to be related to their challenge, is that right?
Well, the challenge is that it does have to be in a way, or you have to make it fit in a way. In some sense, you have to respond to their narrative, and that way claim eco-villages.
So can we parasitize their broccoli farm? What do you think, Max?
Yeah, for sure.
Or should we parasitize the donuts?
Well, you're sort of forced now to play eco-village. If the capitalists weren't successful, then you could apply any of your cards in any of the fields. But since they were successful, you have to respond to their challenge in the eco-village context.
Okay, so we would be playing on top of their card, is that right?
Yeah, so if you chose this one, it has to go here essentially, and in some way it can be loose, but in some way you have to respond to their challenge.
Yeah, so little did they know that we were this whole time while we're off on the broccoli farms evolving away, and they're all off looking so happily into the sunset, and look how big that broccoli got. That's no normal broccoli. and it's about to come back and haunt them. It's making its way to the city as we speak. This evil scheme of theirs is actually of world domination is actually making its way through the mycelium mats into the cities, through the concretes, and through the air ducts, and they're actually all not nearly as hell bent on world domination as I thought they were. They're actually all very, very friendly and collaborative towards each other and their fellow society, and even the environment. Who would have known? Max, you got anything to add to that?
Silence from Max. Are you thinking? Do you still
Yeah,
have
I just
30
forgot.
seconds?
I forgot to unmute. Sorry. So yeah, I
Oh,
was just
oh.
saying, like, please donate to our NFT campaign. We need money. Thanks for your attention.
Okay. I think we can put that up to a vote.
I have a question. Can I vote this time because they are playing or not?
No, none of the players should, in principle, vote
okay.
because of obvious conflict of interests.
Okay.
And time.
mm.
Time is up.
Okay, looks like a ooh. Okay, it's still a 3 because of that 2 over there. And again, if anyone wants to substantiate their vote, just raise your hand and we'll give you the spotlight for a bit. So we've got a 3, so 1, 2, or 3 makes you... Oh, it's a 6. You've gone over. And that means the capitalists have the upper hand in the eco-village space.
Oh no.
It's a bit of skill, but a bit of also bad luck, right? So now it's again the capitalists' turn. Oh no, wait. Now happens the thing that I mentioned happens in between these rounds. So I will roll one die. Okay, and a 5 happens. So this is this one here. And what this means is that Team Communism gets an extra card here, a randomized card that I will, choose at random. So you've got, and also I'll give Max, Sunny, his other card, and also delete this, because that's the only 2 cards you have left in your hand, at least. And same goes for Jeff. So now it's, capitalism's turn to look at Inesi's cards and the extra card you have, and choose one of those to again tackle any of the still free playing fields. And your time starts now, 1 minute.
Okay, Yini, do you have any preference either for which of these sections we target or which challenge to apply?
renewable energy, I think so. We can go there. And I think we can use the fake news one. What do you
Good
think?
idea. Yep.
Okay.
Sounds good to me. So do you want to drag the card over there, and you can start the challenge, and then I'll wrap it up whenever you run out of steam. How about that?
Okay. Okay. No? I'm not seeing
Yeah.
the timer. Oh my gosh.
I think
Okay.
Time's out.
Okay. So yeah, I think there's the information that is currently over there is not the one we consider appropriate, but still we consider that our campaign is very successful to fracture the reality around the renewable energy, and we consider that I don't know. Just help me, please, a little bit.
yeah. So we are going to deploy our water around what renewable energy is, and we're actually going to repackage our newest product, liquid natural gas, as renewable energy, and we're going to pose carbon capture and storage as renewable technology, where meanwhile we're just pumping carbon back into the earth in order to get out more fossil fuels, which we can get even more rich off of. And we're going to bamboozle the whole world into thinking that this is renewable energy, because we've just saturated the airwaves with our capitalist propaganda, and no one will know any different. So that way we will not only maintain the status quo, but get even richer doing it, and we'll be the heroes of the new green movement, which is, of course, the capitalist green movement. Nothing else gets done in this world unless it's done by capitalism. Doesn't everybody know that? And this is how we're going to corrupt the post-carbon future of renewable energy to capitalist ends.
Yeah, and you will scroll down, and you will see everything in the social media, so on as an eternity. The storytelling we are forming there, and you will believe what we are saying, because so we have the proof.
And time.
Nice. Okay. Votes up. We'll give it another moment. Okay, I think we can call it here. Looks like a 4 from here. So 1, 2, 3, or 4 for the time being wins you renewable energy. It's a 3, so you're safe. You have planted your challenge. So now, much like,
Nice.
or exactly like the previous round, yeah, it's now up to Team Communism to look at Max's cards, but also the 2 cards that you have available here, and apply one of those to tackle the challenge just presented in the renewable energy space. You've got 1 minute. And just to mention, if you, the audience or participants, have ideas for additional cards, so things that might not be covered by the card set, that I will scroll to from time to time, or the cards you see the players operating with. Please feel free to leave your ideas in the comments or the chat in the Zoom, and we'll actually plug it into the game as we're playing. So we have some blank cards here. We'll just copy paste your prompt here if it's a challenge, or here if it's an intervention. And yeah, we will essentially make the players use them. So it's your shot to co-create this event, yet another layer of peer participation. But yes, please now use the time to decide, Max and Sunny.
Hey, I was thinking about the hackathons. What do you think?
I think Sunny fell out of Zoom. He might come back.
It looks like you're on your own for the time being, or you could solicit input from an audience member.
I saw Luis somewhere here. Luis, would you like to be my co-steward on this?
It's probably in the toilet. No go. Oh, he is there, but yeah, if you're not too shy, you can coordinate by not chat, but audibly, maybe even visually.
Yeah, like Louis asking like what to do. Yeah, like
Help Max create a story or argument based on one of the cards here. I think, yeah, Max, if you choose hackathon, maybe it's simpler if you, Max, for the time being choose, and Luis has the option to give his input as well.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay, so hackathons for the energy solutions, right? On top of the capitalistic
Fake news strategy. Yeah, exactly.
Well, what I love about Web3 is like it's less about news, it's like about real assets. And if we do the hackathon, potentially that should come with the distribution of tokens through something like Gitcoin, and attract original funding, not capitalistically aligned funding from the locals, ideally to support local energetic cooperatives. So we're gonna run a pilot with UN as a partner, do some promotional case, and then kickstart it through all of the hubs, all of this second, third grade cities, as they call it. And yeah, just allow people to do whatever they feel is right by like supporting their nature, their resources, their ecosystem services. Yeah, Luis, would you like to add something?
Yes, for sure. At least I can try. So from what I understood, that like the hackathon is on top of the fake news. So I think there could be a track on the hackathon. Not sure if that would be precisely fake news, but that could be a track in the hackathon that would be that would have the goal of exposing not fake news but bullshit carbon credits that already exist, and yeah, and then generating like a lot of information to share around, like on social media and this kind of stuff. To kind of highlight it, and then already together with the track have develop like alternative solutions that can put like the renewable energy in the hands of the commoners, something like that. And I hope it makes sense with the move.
And time.
Good timing, everyone. Okay, we can open up the voting poll. Try if I can vote twice, because I feel like a 3.5 or something. Yeah, looks like it's, oh, but then my 3 went away. I'll just leave it like that. Okay. Well, looks like, yeah, at least a 4.5, if not 4.6. I don't know, maybe it's one of those optical illusion thingies. Maybe they're both the same, but 5 looks slightly bigger to me. Well, in any case, it would be 4.5, and let's say we go up in terms of averaging. So it's the highest score so far in the game, a 5. So only a 6 would make you fail. And it's a 3. So you have succeeded. You've also used one of the 2 participant recruitment cards. So capitalism and communism are in some sense on equal footing now, which is, yeah, in some sense a big victory for commoners, or at least in terms of, yeah, getting something into the game. So both sides, I believe, yeah, get their other card now that they've used one. This one goes away. And yeah, we spin again the wheel of speculative fortune. It's a 1. Okay, so this is a whole other set of cards known as wild cards. There's actually 2 types now in this new edition. One is a regular one, which we got, but if we rolled a 4 here, we would go to a scenario wild card. And I'll explain that if we land on it, or at the end of the game, if I remember to do it, that is. So I will pick one at random. And I've chosen Oligarchy Complete. Envisioning futures is now an outlawed activity. So this one isn't like so bad for the commoners, that is, but it is indeed in favor of team capitalism. But what it means is that the commoners team cannot deploy for at least 2 rounds any interventions that have to do with envisioning possible futures. So there's a few cards like that. For example, this one, you and Kim Stanley Robinson write the best post-capitalist fiction novel ever. Or even this one, Guerrilla Theater Group performing radical alternatives to alienated neoliberal societies. So both these arguably have to do with envisioning and potentially embodying possible futures. So these you cannot use for the time being. But all the rest, well, this one, in some sense, game design initiative promoting public engagement, alternative economies also goes out for 2 rounds. So you are a bit more limited in what you can play, at least for the time being. I'll put it here. And after 2 rounds, it goes away and you get those cards back. So since commoners are not in the lead by 2, yeah, it's still the capitalist turn to go. They get to, again, look at Jeff's cards and the extra card you have there, and choose another area to tackle that has not yet been. And again, if someone wants to give some feedback, raise your hand, or if you have an idea for a card, just put it in the chat. Yeah, go on. Thanks.
All right, Yini, we've got a choice of these 3 cards. So marginalized local initiatives having a hard time connecting to broader movements, having a bullshit job, working for hours on end, leaves little time to seek out and change, or public images of the future are bombarded by dystopia. Okay. What if we said this card for the platform cooperatives? What do you think about that? I think I can start off our challenge, and then if you want to follow up with anything you think of that I didn't cover, does that work for you?
Yeah, that's also actually one of, I didn't really explicitly mention this, but the idea is that the player whose turn it is, or at least whose cards you're picking from, that player is expected to start the story in whatever way. Can be just a couple of words, or it could be, you know, a full, you know, argument or however. And then, yeah, the other player would have a chance. So this kind of makes everyone at least give some input. Yeah. So it seems we have, or you have consensus on this, so we can start the 2-minute timer.
Yep.
All right. So we see this cooperative movement burgeoning, and we definitely want to you know, nip it in the bud. So first of all, we raise interest rates. When we raise interest rates, you know, the cost of borrowing gets more expensive. Everyone who owns a house is now house poor. So basically, they all have to work so hard in their bullshit jobs to make enough money to survive that they don't have any energy or any time left over for their little platform cooperative. They can't find any time or energy to coordinate with their neighbors. They can't plant broccoli even. They're just so tired and burned out from their bullshit job that they just don't have time to organize cooperatively. They don't have time to join the board of the platform cooperative. They don't have time to help out with events or even participate, really, because they're just so tired at the end of their work week from their bullshit job that they don't have time to coordinate, and they don't even know that platform cooperatives exist because they're so tired and so burned out by, you know, the rat race that we put them in. Ha 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 ha. Ineasy, anything else to add?
Yeah, tired enough just to think about on surviving day by day, their wife or their husbands are constantly like picking them, and their need just covered enough for having a good life. What they can believe that there's a good life, but it is not. It's just they're just waiting to die, basically. Because they can't live like this anymore. Okay.
And time. I think you're muted there, Rock.
Oh yeah, can start the voting. Few more moments. Got 3 votes in so far. Or no, sorry, 4. Okay, I think that may be all of us. So it's a 5. So another strong case, or it's the first 5 from the capitalist side, I believe. So good work. It's a 5, so by a hair, but you were successful. Congrats. So now again, it's Team Communism's turn. And you look at Sunny's cards. And for the time being, you only have these 2 to choose from.
I think Sunny is back now as Grael.
Yeah, hey, if you're gonna wait to die, you might as well die on a bike, is what I say. So I would say go for the spontaneous operation of communities.
Okay. Max agrees. We can move it there. Start the round.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Although Jeff's comment about nipping it in the butt did kind of make me want to go nudist.
Okay, I think we can start the 2-minute timer. Okay, you're up.
So hey, I mean, if it's a bullshit job, then why not have a couple? Why not throw a few extras in there? You're putting your time in. You got your time. You hunched over the screen, but I mean, who's paying attention anyway? What's getting done? Not that much. So go and find something to do. Go get out in the sunshine. Go cart some tomatoes around. Go find some friends. Go see what you can do to help out. There's a lot of stuff happening. There's a lot of traditional economies that still exist. Here in the Philippines, a lot of people don't rely on the financial systems. There's a lot of cooperatives that operate here. You talk about platform cooperatives. We would like to believe that the public transportation around here is ready for a bit of an open source platform that can enable the way people get around and also finance their transition towards renewable energy and especially electric vehicles powered by renewable energy, but financed along a cooperative model. So that's something that we feel that the Philippines has kind of got a cool little geographical competitive advantage on moving towards that world that we think is available. So yeah, I would say if your job is that bullshit, then maybe look at ways you can start to do those sorts of transition technologies because they're very scalable. You can do them at small scale and they scale well. Yeah. Sorry, I hugged the mic. Sorry, Max.
My 5 cents, guys. Just think 7 generations ahead. That's most important.
All right. Voting can start.
Oh, Ivy's here. Ivy, when are you coming to Bowan?
I'm already here spending Christmas with my family. Are you here in Bawan?
I'm in Bayanan. I got a bike. I'm halfway between Alangilan and the Arnis village. I can ride to both of them on my bike.
Right. Couple of votes in. Looks like a 5. Another good job from the commoner's side. And we roll the dice. A 1. So very safe. Congrats. So again, you're on equal footing. It's not as good as completely having control over the platform cooperative space, but it's a start. In principle, you're still only 1 point behind the capitalists. So, okay, so unfortunately for one more round, you do not have access to these 3 cards, but you will soon enough. And now it's time again for the wheel of speculative fortune.
And you know what that means, Nax. It's time to get naked.
Okay, it's a 2. So much like, yeah, the team communism before, team capitalism gets 1 extra card in their common pile or common pool of cards, if you will. Where are we? Okay. Oop. Okay, so so it's Inesi's turn, I believe. At least in terms of the cards that you two choose, and to start off the story. You're still in the lead, so you get to go first.
Just a second.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we have these philosophers and the cosmology. Oh my god.
Some of these cards are pretty wordy. Yeah.
Yeah. Technological solutionism. Oh, I think that one could be technological solutionism for all. What do you think, Jeff? We can place as
the technological solutionism and maybe like carbon credits.
Yeah, exactly. That could be.
Sounds like a good one. Okay, you kick it off, and I'll pick up where you
okay. Yeah,
lose steam.
Rock already helped me. Okay. So yeah, technology is the solution for everything. Everything can be fixed with that. Of course, carbon credits is not behind of that. We are preparing a set of solutions already that have been tested, but we have proof that we can use it to improve the whole carbon credits area and provide more benefits for everyone. in this society. So yeah, this is very, we have proof it's very resilient. All this set of technology we have prepared is the solution for everything, even death. Jeff, go ahead.
Yeah, and don't listen to those hippies who say climate change is a problem. Climate change is actually an opportunity, you know, with our carbon capture and storage technology. Climate change, you know, carbon sequestration is just the next unicorn industry. You know, we're going to make so much money solving the problems that we created, taking all the carbon back out of the atmosphere and putting it underground. Of course, technological solutions are the only way forward. What did you think? Hippies are just going to change the temperature with a tax or something? How silly! We need, you know, low taxes to encourage business, and we need more technology to take all of that carbon and pump it deep underground, where it will, you know, only cause earthquakes for the proletariat and, you know, all those people who don't really matter in you know, poor villages and whatnot, because we'll be living in our future-proofed skyscrapers and space stations. So really, technological solutions are the answer to all of the problems in the carbon credit market.
Yep.
Right. That was time. And okay, 4 votes in. I think that's good. It looks like a 5, right? So again, another good score from
I think 4.
Oh, well, but there's a 5 and a 6, right?
Ah, cool.
So it's 8 plus 5, 13 plus 9 is 19 divided by 4. So that's 4.75, so a 5. And it's a 1, very safe. Capitalists have succeeded, at least for the time being. So now it's Max's turn, right? Or at least his cards. And you only have one option. The next round, the other cards will open up back for you, but right now, your team has only this option. That is
It's to the
gluing.
proposal of Andrea.
And after all,
So, Grell,
Okay.
do you think we should go with it?
All I gotta say is, you know where you can stick those carbon credits.
I guess
And we're gonna have the most carbon negative glue you've ever come across. We're gonna be so stuck to the wall that we're going to decompose on the wall, sequester ourselves into Parliament is what we're gonna do.
No, but yeah, I love the name of the campaign. Like, you know where to put your carbon credits.
Well, I think we're all pretty convinced we can just call it time here and I'll give you a 6. Be done with it.
you guys are naked and glued to the building sequestering carbon. That's definitely a 6.
Okay, yeah, I think we could actually do that in practice. Just end the timer, open the voting. It's just a formality at this point. So I don't dare to speak for everyone's behalf. So yeah, if you do have some other ideas on how to score this, feel free. Got 3 votes in. All 6s. Okay, so this doesn't happen very often, but number 6 means we don't actually have to roll the dice, right? It's gonna be a win either way. Nice work. Okay, so we take off this wild card. There is no more envisioning futures oligarchy. And you get these cards back just in time, right? And the wheel of speculative fortune. Okay, it's a 4. Okay, so it's a scenario wildcard. And there are 4 scenarios, at least in this round. And depending on who's in the lead overall on the board, one of the 2 scenarios will happen. But even though capitalism is technically in the lead by 1 point because of essentially their first victory, like all-round victory here, this doesn't mean that automatically they have this, but it does mean that they have a bigger chance for the capitalist scenario to happen. So what's going to happen is I'm going to roll the dice again. And if we get 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, it will be indeed the capitalist scenario that unfolds. But if in the small chance there's a 6, the communist scenario will unfold. Oh, it's a 2. So it's a random capitalist scenario that happens. So maybe it's sort of COVID season again, so maybe let's play this card right here.
More COVID.
What COVID indeed, because Techno Capital has already manufactured a pandemic solution in record time. Okay, so what happens is sort of have to consult my cheat sheet there somewhere.
Max says that he needs to go to hop off.
Okay. Well, someone could potentially take his place. Otherwise, I can also potentially do that. But it would be, since I'm operating things on the back end, so to speak, maybe be nicer. Okay.
Yeah, maybe Louis was proposed. But yeah, I'm so thankful for you organizing this. It's really fun.
Yeah,
thanks again, and
yeah, thanks a lot for
speak soon.
For your inputs, and also probably this wouldn't happen if you didn't ask me if there was something I could do or wanted to do as part of the Regen alliances. So thanks. Yeah, we in part have Max to thank. Okay, so So yeah. So I don't have I have several options on what might happen. I'm also maybe a bit rusty on specifically each card, what the options are, but let's say that the capitalist team has the chance, if their first dice roll isn't successful, they have another go. So if the first dice roll isn't in their favor, they can roll the dice one more time. And this lasts for 2 rounds. Or let's say 1 round to be somewhat more balanced. So it's again Team Capitalism's turn, and I think we look at Jeff's cards, or you look at Jeff's cards. And there's only 2 more playing fields that you can try to win to your side, that being donut economics and co-ownership. We're about maybe 10 minutes off from the end of the game.
Let's see here. So marginalized local initiatives, short-termism of election cycles, public images of the future, or intellectual willing into existence of outside of capital. Okay. Donut economics or co-ownership. Okay. How about marginalized initiatives? How about we do a fun one? Marginalized local initiatives on donut economics. Okay, I'm gonna riff on this one a bit and see what we can do with it. And feel free to jump in if you have something. Let's see here. Zoom. I am unmuted. That's good. Cool. Okay. Ready when you guys are. Oh, yeah, here we go. Okay, so all of these tokenomics and public goods groups have started tokenizing everything. They're creating economies for carbon credits. They're creating economies for regenerative social clubs, and they're creating economies for donuts, if you can believe it. Donut economics is actually a serious idea from some of these progressive groups, and these are actually marginalized local initiatives. Nobody is going to transact in donuts. They're not going to have economies based on donut transactions. There's no way that these communities are going to be able to connect with broader social change movements. Don't they know donuts go bad? They are the worst medium of exchange. You cannot have an economy of donuts, and you definitely cannot hoard wealth in donuts. So this will never take off as a legitimate economic system. This will stay extremely local with a bunch of donut fans, and they won't be able to connect with larger movements that are connecting for change. Don't you think, Ini?
Yeah, as you said, this tokenization of everything is just causing more division between the system economic, and it is not what we are expecting to have. We are trying to asking people to join us, to come together and actually use the same token for everything. I mean, the same coin for everything, so we can potentially go and fix more areas and in the social change movements we are planning to have for this year. Vote for us.
All right. Get the voting started. We've got 4 votes in. Looks like a 5. Another good job. Let's get a dice going. Oop. Okay. It's a 1, very safe. Capitalists again have planted their foot in the donut economic space with a creative interpretation of what donut economics is, of course. And now it's Sunny's turn to counter that. Now you have, these 3 cards at your disposal. But first we may decide if someone from the participants want to jump in to help out Sunny in this and potentially the next and final round.
Yeah, I'm happy to give the floor to Luis. If I saw that Luis said he could jump in, I'd be happy to have you throw your thoughts in here and speak as you would like to.
All right, looks
Amazing.
like okay, then you both can have a minute to strategize around which of the 3 cards you will use to counter this donut economics capitalist narrative. This card is actually, applies very well to the challenge, which was that initiatives are having a hard time connecting with broader social change movements. This one says establish a solidarity network among initiatives, translocal network. But it's up to you.
In Canada, we would call that thing in the middle a Timbit. I think in the States, they call them donut holes.
Mm-hmm.
So we're a little bit inverted with the card picture at least, but that's okay. We don't need to let that stop us.
That saves donut economics.
Okay, so you've decided that you're going with this one?
Yeah.
So yeah, agree.
All right. Okay, your time starts now.
Would you like to start, Luis?
Yeah, for sure. I can try. So, yes, while marginalized, local initiatives are having a hard time connecting to broader social change movements and are trying to use donuts to reinvent some kind of economy based on streets, apparently, or something like that. Actually, what's going on is that there is while you don't have like big actors like implementing kind of like change from the outside, you have things like you have local communities under the surface, kind of under the radar of the capitalists somehow, building networks of translocal solidarity that can have impact and that can scale not by the size of an individual actor, but exactly by the size of the network. And let's see. And yeah, there could be people using donuts to interact with the network, but you can also have anything that people would like and anything that that is important to each local initiative. So to each local community. So if a local community, that may be the specific case of really of a specific community that is formed around donuts. But if a community is like interested in taking care of its environment, of its nature and everything, then you can have like nature supporting like the network and transactions in it. So basically, it's up for the communities to choose what they want. to preserve and to interact with. And if it's donuts, if that's okay, that's up to them.
All right, that's time.
And while y'all are voting, I can tell the Filipino donut joke. So what did the donut say to its child that was up in the tree? And the answer is Babarian, which in Filipino means get down from there.
Donut said that. The person said that to the donut.
The mother donut said that to her kid.
Right, we're 4 votes in. Looks like a 5. It's the similar situation as we had a few rounds back. So quite a high chance. Anything but a 6, and it's a 5. So, well, it's not really by a hair because dice don't have a brain and don't really differentiate between 6 and 1s in the ways that we do, but
it was marginally successful.
Yeah, let's say. So we've, almost have a draw throughout the game. So essentially this final one will be the decider if capitalists win or we end with a draw. But also a wheel of speculative fortune thingy happens once more. That's a 6. Okay, that changes things. So that's a Trojan horse, and it's in favor of Team Communism. And what happens is, like, you see 3 or actually 4 areas in which you're on equal grounds with capitalism. So this being donut economics, renewable energy, carbon credits, and platform co-op. And you can choose one of these, and you can essentially revert the situation. So actually cancel out one of the challenges by capitalism. But you can't do that just directly and for free. You actually have to use one of the cards, any of the cards that both of you have. Well, we're near the end, so essentially you have just these 3 to choose from. But you choose one of these 3 cards and revisit one of these 4 areas and pitch an intervention for them. And if you're successful, you'll get to kick the capitalists out using, a Trojan horse kind of strategy. So like with the normal moves, you have 1 minute to decide which card to use and which of these 4 areas. And you've got a chance to maybe even win the game at the end.
Okay, but we can choose whatever area, not only co-ownership, right?
Yes, but not you. It's Team Communism.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
Mm-hmm. So someone placed Kim Stanley Robinson under Eco Village. But yeah, Eco Village is the one that you can't really revert the situation. You can only revert the situation in one where you've already successfully planted an intervention, but also
we can't take back the Eco Village?
No, unfortunately. It's just donut economics, renewable energy, carbon credits, or platform co-ops, where both teams were successful.
I was going to say that was a plot twist all along, but it's not working. It's not letting me move it. I don't know why. Okay, there we go. What do you think, Luis?
Let's send Luis the mirror. Yeah, perfect.
Amazing, thank you.
I think we can restart your timer. You've got 1 minute to decide.
Some kind of epic nudist performance about carbon credits.
Free last time.
Sorry?
For you in the last demonstration. The nudity.
Okay, you've got 10 more seconds to decide. And then we switch on the 2-minute timer. You could still use some of that time to decide in principle, if you like. Okay, your timer is already running for the story, so choose quickly.
Okay, we're doing an epic nudist performance about carbon credits. So yeah, I mean, if you spin around in a circle fast enough, you can actually pump air directly into these underground chambers yourself. And so it just takes some practice and some creative grooming, you know, and yeah. So spinning around in circles very fast, creative grooming, great exercise, and a great way to get that carbon down into the ground. And yeah, I think it's I don't know. That's all I
Complementing that, there was also there's also a performance in which we can replace cars to show that what's even more like better than having, I don't know, like electric buses, for instance, or something like that, is just running. And then you can also like do some physical exercise at the same time. So you can help the environment and stay fit while joining the performance and having some fun as well.
And since the performance itself is carbon negative, the audience can take the credits home with them.
Right. And then we can have a little mechanism for tokenizing runnings.
That's time. Oh.
We would have done it with the broccoli, but they didn't let us. They didn't let us put that plot twist in, because that would have been carbon negative too.
All right, let's put it up to a vote. Okay. 3 votes in. Wait a second. Okay, Okay, I think we can call it as a 4. So pretty high chance. Ooh, it's a 1. Okay, congrats. You've kicked off. Ooh. Kicked off the challenge here. Yes, these two together, they give you 1 point. So it won't be 2 points, but 1. So I'll just place it like this. But indeed, you kicked out the capitalists, so essentially it's a tie, and the deciding round is this very last round. But indeed, still, commoners are not in the lead by 2. And we've already played the Wheel of Fortune. That's how the commoners got to do this move. So yeah, it's back to the capitalists. So you have to play co-ownership, but you do have a bit of choice in cards, and I think it's Inesi's turn, at least in terms of the choice of cards. And I can just put them together all like this since it's the final round. Put Jeff's card away. So one of these 4 for co-ownership.
Oh my gosh, Jeff. I'm debating between 2. This one, the free and open source technologies, and the change makers, but I'm not sure. This one and this one I can't even understand.
Yeah, this one is a little tricky. This one, public images of the future. What is it again? Co-ownership. Co-ownership. What if we go for this one, the TED speaker, and then we can marginalize the co-ownership and turn it into kind of a business as usual. What do you think about that?
Your 2-minute timer is already starting now. Yeah.
Start you and I can complete. I can't. Please go ahead and I can complete.
Okay, sure. Yeah. So this new participatory process of co-ownership where they think it's not up to one CEO, it's up to all of the workers collectively owning cooperative together. Well, we're 10 steps ahead of them. We've already basically watered down co-ownership. Actually, we already have it, equity plans, employee stock ownership programs. This was basically co-ownership, that's going on at Facebook, at Google, at Amazon. All of these companies are co-owned. In fact, what else is stock and equity but ownership of the business, So we can really water down this new movement of co-ownership of cooperatives by saying, we already have this in capitalism. We already have shareholders co-owning corporations, and really we just need to optimize and make this manner more efficient. We need triple bottom line. We need more growth of the organization. So in this way, we'll water down their co-ownership model. Anything else to add?
Yeah, so we consider the best movement here is to consider this focus on personal growth, since having enough knowledge and intelligence to provide to the or current strategies, we can of course succeed in this pattern. I don't know. But that's the idea. Yeah. Vote for us.
Okay, that was time. We'll go to voting. Three votes. I think we'll call it there. It's a 4. It's a pretty good chance. Oh, okay, it's a 2. You've succeeded. So if the commoners succeed, you will have, yeah, tied with the capitalists. Yeah, I'm not sure how we ended up with the situation of them having more cards, but you've got these two to work with. To respond. The one on the right is, of course, a little bit of self-referentiality. It's always fun in a game to apply a game as a tool for change in the narrative. But I also like the one on the left. But it's up to you. Got a minute.
What do you think, Louise?
Yeah, I like the one on the right as well.
Game on.
All right, can start 2-minute one. Timer. And go ahead.
You want to start?
Feel free to. I started talking about. Also again, if you'd like.
Sorry, I didn't hear that. Are you suggesting I go?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I mean, it's all well and good that they're doing the shareholders, but obviously there's a lot of ways that you can make the cookie crumble or slice the pie or what have you. Games allow for the exploration. They allow for you to play through scenarios. I mean, gamification has become quite a popular trend, although you could probably argue that that's been co-opted in its own way. But yeah, I mean, really, play and how people organize themselves into these different games. Like we've got a lot of sports for a reason, and they bring out different attributes of different personalities and players. So yeah, I think we want to tap into the spirit of gaming for not just the alternative economies, but also bringing out skill sets and organizational models. How do you build your team? All of those you can tap into very well with games, and yeah, I think like a company can be. You can think of a company like a team that gets organized in certain ways for certain competitive advantages, or however you want to frame it. Yeah, I would say it's a good way to structure yourself and your group. Oh, sorry, I went too long there.
Right. We'll go to, it's probably the final vote. there will still be another last wheel of speculative fortune, which may or may not change things. Three votes in. Give it another few seconds. Okay, another. Another. Okay. Close to a 5, but looks more like a 4. 4.3-ish. Let's roll the die. Okay, a 1. So we might end with a draw, which is kind of means good game communism in a way. They did throughout the game didn't have the chance to set the content. Maybe I'll ask wherever this sound is coming from if you could mute yourselves. Thanks. Okay. But yeah, let's see for the last Wheel of Fortune. 3. Aha. Co-optation. Okay, so just like Team Communism had the chance before with their Trojan horse, now Team Capitalism has the chance to use one of the 3 challenges that they still have in their hand to apply it to one of the, again, 4, but slightly different than the ones commoners had, contexts where, yeah, both teams have been successful. So in this case, it's can play a challenge in donut economics, renewable energy, co-ownership, this last one, or a platform co-op. And if you're successful, well, in pitching and then have a bit of luck, if of course you didn't get a 6 or something, then yeah, you've got a chance to win the game. Just like before, your timer 1 minute starts now. You choose one of the 3 cards to apply to one of those 4 areas I mentioned.
Okay. I was thinking this open source developers is a good one, leading to massive self-exploitation of developers, but where can we apply it best? Renewable energy, donut economics, co-ownership, or how about platform cooperative? How about yeah, developer burnout? What do you think about that, Yini? Oh.
Sorry. Oh no, I was distracted.
I think
You're not
whoever
supposed to co-opt the whole board.
Oh no, what I did.
it's back.
It was
I
just brought to
kidnapped.
front.
I kidnapped everything. Like I didn't understand. I want to kidnap everything. Okay. Yes. I like
I'll
it. I
kick it
like
off and you follow up. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 minutes
Okay, great.
starts.
So there is this new resurgence of all these platform cooperatives, and they're building cooperatives, but they're also digital open source platforms like Ethereum could be an example. But what they don't realize is behind the scenes, all of these new technologies being free and open source is just burning out all of the developers. All of these developers are coming. They want to build these platform cooperatives and they want to give them away for free because they think it will liberate people. But really all they're doing is giving away all of their hard labor they should know more about intellectual property rights and value gating their communities, because ultimately they are just massively burning themselves out. They're exploiting themselves, and these platform cooperatives are never going to work because the developers who are building them are just so burned out and so tired. They have bullshit jobs, by the way, because they need to pay their bills, and building these free platform co-ops is really just burning them all out. Take it from here, Yini.
Yeah, they are taking our workforce to work on these platform cooperative platforms, and they're just as we said, or they're just we are they are not getting the benefits we are providing them. We are a safe place. We are providing them an insurance, a health insurance even. So I think despite everything, we are the safe place to go, considering the scenario. And what else? Yeah, I don't know. I lost the idea. I lost the idea. I was having something, but I lost the idea.
All right. Last vote of the day.
And the internet connection isn't helping today.
Oh, Jeff, is that an attempt at sabotage?
Sabotage.
Might need to bring out a calculator for this one.
I will kidnap again the whole world.
It looks like then a 3. If we count, yeah, Jeff's sabotage. I don't know if that was a typo. There was a last minute change. I don't know if it changes something. There's 2, 4, and 5. Average is 5. It's 11 divided by 3.
Let's keep it as a 3. That way, 1 through 3, capitalists win. 4 through 6, commoners win. We'll leave it up to a complete die roll.
Yeah, I like that idea. Okay. It's up to the algorithm. A 3. So you capitalists win by a hair.
Well, here.
Oh.
Wow. There's even a win effect.
Oh.
These things.
Okay.
It's amazing. Commoners deserve it, though. Keep getting naked this game.
Okay, well, we've reached the end of the game, or, well, the game in some sense never ends, always changes, and yeah, you yourselves, players, have helped, create the board in the first place that we were playing with today. And some of the cards that you were using come from, previous events showcased here. Some of them at least. And yeah, here's where we honed a lot of these storytelling capacities in Austria at the Commons Hub, and where some of these materials come from, but also, a good one was this one, quite recent in Berlin. Well, thank you all so much for participating and for playing. I would welcome you to stay for a few minutes if you'd like to give any feedback or something. But otherwise, can Thanks so much.
I love the game. It is a little bit complicated in the beginning, but then it turns out different. Especially because there are some words that I have to research what's the meaning of those words, but I really enjoy it. I was scared. I was saying, Robin, well, I'm going to participate, but I'm not sure if I'll be a good player.
Yeah,
you were great.
I love it.
Great to hear. Yeah, I would try to make it in such a way that you can sort of learn the rules as you go. So, but also, you've played it once, so the next time, perhaps, if you're playing, you'll know the ropes more. Maybe even have done some research into the content you weren't familiar with. And I hope it inspired some maybe narrative strategies you yourselves can use, maybe some actual intervention ideas, get naked, etc., to apply in the real world. But anyone else? Get naked, eat donuts.
Digital. Good strategy. The digital version looks really good, Rock. Love the pieces, moving them around. The visuals on the cards really help to kind of get your mind in motion around what the prompt is saying. This looks amazing. Really good progress since I've last played.
Thanks.
And great suggestions, Louise and Grael. The getting naked, sequestering carbon, eating donuts, hilarious. I love the way these ideas get remixed and made funny and alive. I think it's much great way to discuss these ideas and how they can be applied in the real world.
Yeah, thanks a lot for hosting the game, and it was really fun. And one thing that I found quite surprising is that I ended up finding really entertaining to hear the capitalist team. So yeah, it was good to see the kind of slightly ironic stories and kind of ironic, but it's on that side. And yeah, good to have participated. Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it. Maybe just a shout out, also a major shout out to Robin for helping out in the back end with all the voting and also promoting the event itself, getting us together. Essentially, it wouldn't be possible without him, for sure.
Super fun to support. Really learningful and inspiring too. It felt like a storytelling war. It felt like a kung fu battle of storytelling moves. It was super fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was fun.
When's the board game coming in the shop?
Yeah, that's a good question. I wanted to do something special in terms of publishing the game. So, in principle, if you want to drop an email or whatever, I'm happy to send the game materials that you can print on your own. I do have a deal with a local print shop that can create, a physical edition with which I go to events and such. I may give a little bit of a teaser that we're preparing a somewhat bigger project with some international partners and also some other game developers, that we would build out a whole interactive platform of sorts, or maybe use existing tools and infrastructures to leverage, to support not only that you can kind of, print and play the game, but also on the platform remix different cards and choose the cards that are relevant for your event, choose the playing fields that are relevant for you, and only print those out and apply them in your event. But also it would be a contributory platform. So you can directly kind of propose new card materials, new board elements, even new tweaks or rules of the game. and that's one of the meanings of the name Game Changers. And I hope, with a bit of luck, we'll set up this platform and enable anyone to contribute to it, remix it, and use it for their purposes. But of course, this is much tougher than just slapping a Creative Commons license on a PDF and making it available to everyone, which in principle is a good thing to do in the meantime. But maybe it's just to drop some notes on something we're actively working on. And also I'm thinking of a for-purpose licensing arrangement for this kind of game. I call it the Game Commons Peer Production License. And it would essentially be, similar to Creative Commons, but like it especially, addresses if people are submitting or remixing content, like how do you then attribute credits to those people and also give them shout outs during events, or like put their names on the cards, as you saw in some of the examples of the cards. So we would use this kind of license to kind of organize this whole field of collaborative game design. And it could apply to other similar games.
Super cool. Can't wait to get my hands on that platform. Keep us posted with any of the new developments.
Yeah, will do.
Super cool. Awesome.
Okay.
Cool. Thanks for setting this all up. Super appreciated. Thanks, Robin, for coordinating. Appreciate that as well. Sorry I didn't get back to you sooner, but glad I could make it. And what a great game.
Yeah. Thanks for joining.
All right. See you next time.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
See you.
Thanks
Thank
very
you,
much.
everyone.
Everybody,
Take care.
see you all.
Bye.
Stop
Bye.
the recording.
What?
The recording. Don't forget to share
Oh yeah.
it
Oh yeah.
and to stop it.